Hi there, Lou McWilliam here. It's October the 1st and I'm at the Great Wall of China at Mutianyu. And I've just spent, 6 days walking along the Great Wall of China, walking with a group of 20 Australians who I'd never met before, fundraising for the Australian Cancer Research Foundation. And I've just spent a weekend with my family after the 6-day walk. And we decided to come back to Mutianyu because just felt it was the best section of all, just encapsulating everything. So I just thought now I might take you for a little spin. Come along this way. What we'll do is we'll go up, and what we've got up here is Tower 20. And that's the highest point on this section. I think it's about 900 or 950 meters above sea level. So one of the features here at Mutianyu is that they've got what they call crenellations on each side. So that's a more unusual feature. I understand that in most of the sections they just have these, what they call crenellations on the enemy side, so that, can fire on the approaching enemy. Now, I'm not a historian, but from my reading, I understand that the ancient Chinese built fortifications around their cities from a very, very long time ago. As far back as 290 BC, much of northern China was walled already. And then if we go up here, I can just carry on talking a little. Emperor Qin, who I understand was around about 220 BC, he was a very ambitious and somewhat tyrannical emperor, but he was keen to really continue the work and to link all the walls that existed. Now, there are many myths about the Great Wall. In fact, there are probably more myths that are widely known amongst the public than the facts. Please go. And one of them is that there is just one single wall that stretches from the east northern coast to the west. But actually not. It's just a network built by different dynasties during different times in different locations. And I've been lucky to see six different sections. So the first day started at a place called, we went to Jinyungyuan Pass, which is actually very close to Badaling. Badaling is probably the closest part of the wall to Beijing. It's about 70 kilometers northwest of Beijing. It is very touristy. Lots of vendors there who are absolutely convinced that everybody who goes there has to have a t-shirt that says, "I climbed the Great Wall." Well, I don't think we really need that. But they're trying to get your money, so it was a bit of a weird experience. You've got the contrast of the old wall, which it dates back to 220 BC. And then you've just got these hordes, these swarms, the dense crowds of tourists. It was sort of a bit of a weird feeling. I don't know what the predecessors who built the wall would quite think of it. We actually saw a lot of girls in stiletto heels, can you believe? Actually, what you need are a good pair of sturdy walking boots. Anyway, let's go up a little bit. To be honest, I haven't done this filming before. What I'd like to do is just get a little bit of up there. Maybe, Beth, you can just scan up there. But much of this section at Mutianyu, this was rebuilt during the Ming Dynasty, and that was sort of 14th, 15th century. So a lot of work was done then. And they introduced brickwork and also stone slabs, so it's in very, very good condition still here. During the week, we've been fortunate enough to go to all areas of the Great Wall. We did 6 days. So the first day was at Badaling, the sort of touristy section, and at Jinyungyuan. Very, very steep. So if you're going to go to Jinyungyuan, I would suggest going on a pretty strict training program. Second day we came here, Mutianyu, which is also steep, but there are fewer tourists than at the Badaling section. Day 3, I ended up going to Huangyuan Great Wall. I just went there on my own, actually, because the big group I was with, they were off to a gorge, which apparently was very, very beautiful. But I kind of wanted to stick to the wall because I've become a bit of a wall freak. I'm a great wall freak now. I'm a nerd, and maybe I better buy a t-shirt to prove it. Day 4, we went to Gubeku, which, oh wow, very, very old, very, very old, very ancient relics. In fact, once we started our walk, we walked through sort of dense undergrowth, brambles. We were told not to wear shorts. I did wear shorts, so did a few others. Actually, I didn't get scratched too much, just a little bit. But we weren't actually sure where the wall started. It was really ancient, and lots of sand and sort of mud. And then before we knew it, we were up on high sections of the wall. Want to come down, Beth? We'll go down. It was very slippery, so really, if you want to go, you know, Gubeku, Junshanling, Simitai, those areas, I'd suggest that you're quite reasonable fitness levels, and also to be a bit careful about going along some segments of the wall, because if you suffer from vertigo, perhaps it's not for you. Now, Gubeku was extraordinary, very, very old, as I keep mentioning. And we did go through a number of the watchtowers, just crumbled ruins, you know, hardly any structure left. Anyhow, let's go down, it's getting a bit noisy. On the fifth day, we went to Junshanling. We had an early start, which was great, and that was actually my favourite day walking. Lots and lots of walking in. We saw, I think, 130 watchtowers simultaneously. It was a spectacular sight. I'm not sure how many watchtowers we walked through. I'll need to check with the statistician for that. Her name's Claire. Wonderful job she did, counting the number of steps. I do believe all up over 6 days we did about 88,000 steps. And, you know, we're not talking just normal steps. We're talking, you know, some of the steps were like, you know, 2 foot high, 3 foot high. Even going in the watchtowers, getting to the upper story, very narrow walkway, and you'd get to the last couple of steps, and I mean it might be 4 foot high. You'd have to give each other a leg up, I think, to get up. The last day we were at Simatai. I can't say it properly. I say Simitai, but Simatai, and that's got such spectacular views. It's quite jaw-dropping, really. To be recommended, but again, only if you're fairly fit and you are quite agile, because it can be quite slippery, and in fact, one of our girls did have a slight fall. That was a shame, wasn't it, Mel? Anyhow, at least you didn't hurt anything. But that was a wonderful day walking, and we got up really, really early. We up before 5, and we started walking at 5:20 when it was cold and dark. But we got up to the top and we saw the sunrise, which was spectacular, as you might imagine. And then we took lots of photographs there. You know, we were full of self-congratulation. 6 days walking. But my goodness me, I felt so strong. I felt like I could do a marathon. Anyhow, let's just go down here. You okay? Why don't we just put the camera down here and you can see as much as possible. There you go, well done. So if you can just try and scan it to the left, get the panoramic. So you can see, I mean, the huge extent, it's mind-blowing how this was built in really difficult terrain. How they got here without modern equipment that we have is, well, it's just unbelievable. And you can see right down to the other watchtower. That's where Jamie and George and Lara are. Managed to escape for a little while from them. But just coming here, we took the cable car up, so that's a much easier route. But we had a great view. And we are going to be going down by an even more unusual route. They built, I think it was in like 1988 or something, they built a toboggan slide. So that is how we are going to be descending from the Great Wall today. We're going to be climbing into this little seat, and I'm hoping that we can get George and Lara onto that. Let's go over here. Maybe we can just get the steps. This is how we got up into the watchtower here. So I think that's probably quite enough for the moment.